Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Mikel Arteta claims Tomiyasu did something simply incredible against Liverpool. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta claims Takahiro Tomiyasu did something simply incredible against Liverpool yesterday. The Gunners picked up yet another impressive win yesterday as they beat Liverpool 3-2 at the Emirates. Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli stole the show with dazzling performances from both flanks, but Arteta has also highlighted Tomiyasu's performance from left back. The 23-year-old faced the daunting task of keeping Liverpool talisman Mohamed Salah quiet, and Arteta thinks he did an excellent job. Speaking to Arsenal's official website after the game, Arteta says Tomiyasu was tasked with dealing with the threat of Salah. Arteta went on to say, "Very good, and that's what we hoped he would do, and he did exactly that. To think of doing that against Salah and actually doing it, it's a very different story. He has done it incredibly well, especially after playing on Thursday and what he's been through in the last few weeks," Arteta said. Tomiyasu has proven to be very astute signing for Arteta and impressed during his run in the side last season. The Japan international has fallen down the pecking order this season after the arrival of Alexander Zinchenko and Ben White's switch to right back. But the Arsenal fullback will still be a useful player for Arteta as he can play anywhere across the back line. Tomiyasu was brought in to do a specific job yesterday, and he certainly managed that. The Arsenal man kept Salah unusually quiet, and the Liverpool star was substituted in the second half. Arteta is clearly delighted with the defender's performance. It's an encouraging sign that a squad player like Tomiyasu has stepped into the side and played so well. Tomiyasu has been limited to substitute appearances before yesterday, but stepped into the Arsenal side like he had been playing for weeks. The Japanese defender could be a brilliant option for Arteta to use in big games to stifle the threat of specific opposition players. Gabriel Martinelli admits he was scared right at the start of yesterday's match. Arsenal star Gabriel Martinelli has admitted he was a bit afraid that his goal against Liverpool was offside yesterday. Speaking to the club's official website after the match, Martinelli was delighted with his side's performance. Martinelli opened the scoring within a minute at the Emirates, making a fantastic run behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. A pass from Martin Odegaard, his first assist of the season, found the sprinting Brazilian, and he made no mistake, slotting past Alisson. Arsenal couldn't have asked for a better start to the match, although Liverpool equalized through Darwin Núñez. Martinelli was involved in Arsenal's second goal just before the break. His tantalizing pass across the box was poked in by the outstretched leg of Bukayo Saka. However, Martinelli has admitted that he was afraid yesterday about whether his goal was going to count. Speaking after the match, Martinelli said, "To be fair, I was a bit afraid. I think Bukayo Saka was offside. No, he wasn't offside, but they were checking Bukayo for offside. But it was a great feeling, and the assist after just before the end of the first half. I think we deserved the win, and I am so happy." There is certainly an argument that Martinelli is Arsenal's highest potential young player. The idea of the Brazilian and Saka on either wing for the foreseeable future at the Emirates is incredibly exciting. The £90,000 per week winger's Arsenal contract runs out in 2024. However, Football London believe Arsenal hold a 2-year option to extend his deal. Arteta called Martinelli a nightmare to play against after the match, and it's easy to see why. His 4 goals and 2 assists this season is a brilliant return from the wing. Martinelli's admission that he was afraid yesterday after his goal shows that the players are just as worried about VAR as the fans. However, this Arsenal team look a serious threat this season and once again saw off a brilliant side to pick up 3 points. Paul Merson impressed by Arsenal star Bukayo Saka in Liverpool win. Sky Sports pundit Paul Merson was left seriously impressed by Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka against Liverpool yesterday and compared him to Raheem Sterling. Saka bagged 2 goals in Arsenal's 3-2 win over Jurgen Klopp's man to put his side back at the top of the Premier League. Gabriel Martinelli was the star of the show as he opened the scoring for Arsenal inside 2 minutes. The Brazilian winger then set up Saka for his first goal of the evening just before half-time. And Merson has heaped praise on Saka for his positional awareness for his first goal. Speaking on Sky Sports at halftime, Merson compared Saka's goal to the type of goals Chelsea winger Raheem Sterling has scored over the years. A great ball in and great play by Saka, Merson said. I have seen it over the last 2 or 3 years with Raheem Sterling being on the far post, tapping balls in. People say that is easy, but no one else was there. You have got to be there. Saka timed his run perfectly to get on the end of Martinelli's ball across the box in the first half. Sterling certainly mastered this in his time under Pep Guardiola, and Saka will be hoping to do the same under Mikel Arteta. The 21-year-old also stepped up under huge pressure to give Arsenal the win from the penalty spot in the 76th minute. The England international got off to a slightly slow start to the season, but is certainly picking up his form in recent weeks. Saka has formed a brilliant partnership with Ben White down the right-hand side for Arsenal. The Gunners have now won 8 out of their opening 9 games and sit top of the Premier League. Arteta will be hoping his side and Saka can continue their brilliant form over the packed fixture schedule before the World Cup next month. Arteta reveals what happened in the dressing room at half-time to inspire win over Liverpool. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has revealed a feisty half-time talk helped contribute to the 3-2 win over Liverpool yesterday. The Gunners went back to the top of the Premier League by seeing off the Reds 3-2 in a victory that puts belief into the club that a little challenge is very much possible. Arteta attributed a lively half-time dressing room to the improved second half display, which simply saw them have too much for Liverpool in the end. It was lively, but we wanted to give confidence and tell them the game was there for the taking. In the second half, the organization was better, the timing of the press, we won every second ball, Arteta told Sky via the BBC. Arteta will now be looking for his side to maintain the belief and excellence in their performances as we head towards the World Cup in Qatar in November. In past seasons, Arsenal have looked frail at times and like they will fall away, but this Arsenal side looks different, and if they come out of November still top of the pile, then all at Arsenal will think that the Premier League title is within their grasp. While Liverpool are effectively out of the running now, Arsenal are right in there and don't look slowing down anytime soon. The summer signings have been masterful so far, and Mikel Arteta deserves huge credit. If the Gunners can simply keep winning, then the title might be closer than many still want to believe. West Ham United joined the race for €40 million as wanted by London rivals Arsenal. West Ham United are reportedly interested in signing the Italian international midfielder Manuel Locatelli. The 24-year-old joined after an impressive European Championships from Sassuolo back in 2021. However, the move has not worked out for him. Locatelli has been heavily criticized for his performances this season, and he is struggling to showcase his qualities under Massimiliano Allegri. The player has been linked with other Premier League clubs in recent weeks, and West Ham have now joined the chase for the deal, which could cost around €40 million as per Bianconero. Arsenal are thought to be the long-term admirers of the midfielders as well, and it will be interesting to see where the player ends up eventually. The Gunners reportedly made an inquiry for him just a few days ago. The Hammers could definitely use a quality box-to-box midfielder, and Locatelli would be a superb acquisition if he manages to adapt to the Premier League. A move away from Turin could be ideal for the player right now. A change of scenery could help him regain his confidence and form. Furthermore, the pressure to perform at a high level every week at Juventus could be taking a toll on the player, and he will have a far more relaxed atmosphere at a club like West Ham. While the Hammers are an ambitious club, they are not expected to win titles. Arsenal, by contrast, look like a team on the up under Mikel Arteta, so it may be that Locatelli would view them as a more tempting option in terms of playing in Europe and competing for trophies. Juventus signed the player on a 2-year loan deal with an obligation to buy at 25 million euros. It seems that the Italian giants are looking to complete the permanent transfer and then sell him for a profit. Arsenal and Liverpool told to pay £62 million to sign young talent. Arsenal and Liverpool have been told to pay a whopping £62 million to sign Palmeiras youngster Endrick. Endrick is a talented youngster coming through the ranks at the Brazilian side Palmeiras at just 16 years old. Endrick is unable to join a club in Europe as it stands, as European rules state that he is only allowed to move to the continent when he turns 18 years old. According to Mundo Deportivo, Palmeiras will allow Endrick to leave the club when he is able to, as long as they meet their asking price, which currently stands at £62 million. Brazilian journalist Jorge Nicola recently claimed that Arsenal and Tottenham were interested in the youngster, with BBC Sport also reporting that Liverpool and Manchester City were among the clubs keeping tabs on his progress. Clubs will have to act fast, with some of the elite teams around Europe sniffing around him, but they could be put off by the price tag. £62 million for a player who is still only 16 years old and unproven in a top league is a massive risk, and one some clubs won't be willing to take. Arsenal tipped to launch audacious bid to sign England international. Transfer insider Bennett Jacobs has tipped Arsenal to make a bold bid to sign Jude Bellingham after securing a return to the Champions League for next season. The Gunners currently sit pretty on the top of the Premier League table and at present look more likely to be challenging for the title come the tail end of the season than battling for one of the remaining Champions League spots. With that in mind, a slight increase in our transfer budget would surely be in order, and we could well broaden our horizons a little. Jude would definitely be an expensive signing, but one who wouldn't deter us too far away from our transfer policy. Jacobs claims that we may not currently be looking at Jude, however, but claims that on the back of the World Cup he could well enter their long-term thinking as somebody who could take us to another level. Under the right coach and under the right system and style for club and country, there is still that sky-high potential, and that's why you are going to get more and more suitors joining the race, Jacobs told the Down Deal show. I think nobody really that is an elite level club doesn't want to sign Bellingham. There is just some that have either got another priority or have decided that the price is too high. And that is a really key point with a club like Arsenal, because if they have decided the price is too high, but they see him get more and more consistent and offer all of these things on and off the football field alongside what we know he can do with the ball, at that point they might say, if they get Champions League football, you know what, it's worth paying above market value, or it's worth paying £130 million. We will find that money at the expense of an outgoing or the expense of another target. But right now, to my understanding, Arsenal are not in the race for Jude Bellingham. But that doesn't mean that things won't change once we get beyond the World Cup. While we may not be considering a move right now, I'd love for our stance to change. Jude is top drawer already and could potentially be the best of his position in the not too distant future. If we could persuade him to come then, that would be huge for us for the present and future. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.